Okay, I'll be going over row 7 of the math interim review. Number 7, box 1 says, I'll call this box 1, 2, 3, 4. So box 1, write the standard form, which means basically the number as it would be if you wrote it all out. So in this case, 1.2 times 10 to the 7th. This is a positive 7, so that means you multiply by 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Okay, so it becomes, it's really what this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, but the calculator may or may not write it all the way out like that, but what we do know is that the nature of multiplying by 10 is that it moves the decimal over 1. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? This times 10 will move it over 1, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now 10 to the 7th doesn't necessarily mean 10 zeros or 7 zeros, because in this case the decimal depends on where it starts. It's starting between the 1 and the 2. So once you multiply by 10, you're going to move the decimal once over the 2, and then you'll have 6 zeros. So we move it once, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is multiplying by 110. You move it here, multiplying it by 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. Now do not keep your answer like that. It's going to become 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then from the third, that means it becomes, from the last digit, you go back 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. It's 12 million is what 1.2 times 7 to the times 10 to the 7th power is. Okay, so 12 million is what it expands to. Now, the next one, 7.82 times 10 to the negative 5th literally means that you're going to take 7.82 and you're going to divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 10, divide by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, and divide by 10. So what does that literally do? It actually moves it to the left 5. That negative lets us know it's moving to the left 5. So I'm going to put my number here because I know I'm going to have to move left. So you go 1, okay, and then you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 goes over the 7. Then you have to add 4 more zeros. Okay, so then the final answer, don't leave this as your final answer. Make sure you clean it up. 0.0000782. That's my answer. 0.1234782. And there's no special way to say that. There is, but basically right now all you need to say is 0.0000782. Okay, and that would be the standard form of 7.82 times 10 to the negative 5th power. Now, how do we write it when we already have this, the standard? So what I have going on for this first number, I'm going to write it without the commas. So 1, then 3, 4, 0. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. Okay, if I want to write it in scientific notation, I need to put my decimal where it's supposed to be. So, so that you have number dot number, okay, where the first digit is not a 0. So if I put the dot here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits before the decimal. That's not what we want. We just want 1 digit before the decimal. So if you put the decimal here, then you got number dot number, and then you got all these zeros. So this is where I want the decimal to be. I'm going to write 1.34, and then if it's followed by zeros, I don't need to write the rest. Times 10 to the what power? Well, where it needs to go is over here to expand out. So I'm going to need to go right, okay, which is going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to have to multiply by 9 tens to move over this far. So think about where the decimal needs to be, right here. Then you write your digits. Then you go multiply how many times it'll take to get to the very end of that number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if it helps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That will be the answer. So this big number is the same as 1.34 times 10 to the 9th power. Okay, now how do we do it when we've got a number like this one? Okay, so we can't get rid of, there's no comma, so we need to write all this point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 0, 8 equals. Okay, now where is the decimal supposed to be? Not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, but here. Because if you imagine the decimal not being here anymore with all these zeros, then you have 3.4. Okay, so what you need to write is 3 point, the decimal should be here, 4, and then we got a 0, but there's an 8 that follows it, so I'm just going to write the rest of it. Now this is where it's supposed to be, but when you expand it out, it goes backwards. So you have to divide by 10. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you went to the, to the left. So you're going to have to put 10 to the negative 6 to expand it out. So imagine having this number to begin with. You're going to have to move it left 6 to get to this number. So 3.408 times 10 to the negative 6 will be the correct answer. Alright, now this one here says to write in standard form, so we got to do exactly what the 10 tells us to do. Well, this is multiplying by 5 tens, and it's positive, which means you're going to make it bigger and bigger and bigger, which means the decimal needs to move to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is already taken up by the digit 5. Then you only have room for 4 zeros. So when you expand it, it becomes 4, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0. Alright, so if you want to add a comma, you would start back every 3 digits. So this is a 450,000. That's what the number would be for box 3. Now box 4, this one says to write it in scientific notation, which means we have to do number dot number number. Okay, so if I rewrite times 10 to some power, okay. So I'm going to write 40 million here without the zeros. Let me double check. I have 4 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now where does the decimal need to be? It's not supposed to be here for scientific notation. It needs to be here. So I would have 4.00 times 10. Now, what would I need to do this exponent to make it go back to its original? You'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be your final answer. Now, if you have just zeros, then you could just write 4 times 10 to the 7th or 4.00 times 10 to the 7th. And that would be your answer. Either one of those are acceptable as an answer.